Final half hour of the week here on this Halloween edition of Hot Mic. More emails coming in our candy rankings. It's been controversial. We thought it would be. We'll do that before we wrap up the show. We mentioned we're going from Moorhead to Minot today on our show with high school football. I mentioned we got Minnesota stuff going on today. Section championships are going on at the Fargo Dome. The North Dakota 2A and 3A football playoffs begin today with the quarterfinals in 2A football. Minot North is at home tonight. They've got Grand Forks Red River coming to town. Rematch of a game played back in September. Sentinels head football coach Jacob Holmen joins us on this Friday morning after an unbeaten regular season. First off, congrats on that. You've had the big target on your back. You've been ranked number one. How have the boys handled it? Looks like so far so good.
Yeah, they've done very well. We got a mature group. Being able to be with them for 4 years now, they kind of know what we expect out of them, and they're taking it in stride and doing a great job.
So now it's a team you played earlier this season. We were just visiting off air a little bit about this. Can you go back? I mean, it was way back in early September, which seems like it was 8 years ago. Can you use that, or is it completely out the window?
You use it some just to see how they're going to line up, and assuming they line up the same way. We've obviously prepared for a couple different things that they've shown in the last couple weeks, but we try to watch as much film as we can all the way back to the beginning of the year. So there's a value to playing a team again, but it is hard to beat a team twice, no matter who it is. So we'll have our hands full for sure.
So, we visited a couple times. I know last year having the great run you guys did, making it to the semifinals, and then this year there were going to be expectations, and we talked about that. I know when you joined the show before the year got going. How do you feel the guys have handled this, knowing that you weren't sneaking up on anybody now this season?
Yeah, we tried not to treat it any different. We prepare day by day, and we're worried about that week's game. So a lot of people that I talk to around school, our community, they like to look ahead. That's what sports fans like to do. And we're just trying to keep our guys focused on the day that we have. So yesterday's practice, all we were worried about was practice. Today, worried about this week's game. And then if we get a chance to play next week, we'll take care of that when it comes. But just treating every day like it's super important is kind of what we're trying to get our guys to do.
I have a feeling you have fans that watch Hot Mic that have been telling them it's Minot North and Kindred for all the marbles here in a couple weeks. But describe that for the guy. How do you feel they've handled that, knowing that's out there and everybody's talking about it, and just that they're not on our schedule? We've got to take care of who we're playing this week.
Yeah, we address that frequently just because you hear noise and stuff, the rat poison that Coach Saban would say. But yeah, they're doing a good job. They've bought into what we're trying to tell them to do. So we're really focused on Red River this week, and we're going to go give them our best shot.
Describe this team. What's different about 2025 Minot North than last year?
I think just the amount of football that you play. You get better as a football player when you play games. You can practice all you want, and you get better at practice, but when you get to compete in important games multiple times, and every game this year has been an important one for us. So to see the growth from last year, where we were inexperienced, we maybe didn't know what we were walking into when it came to the playoffs. Hopefully that experience last year can carry through as we start hopefully a playoff run this week.
Did you get a sense, Jacob, you were getting everybody's best shot? Like, yeah, you guys might be the new kids on the block, but hey, they're ranked number one, so we're going to try and knock them off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to win any game you play, but when you're playing a team that's ranked one, and I don't read into rankings very much, I usually don't even look at them. But yeah, teams want to beat us just with the year that we had last year. And when you have a team that hasn't lost yet coming to your place, or you're going to their place, an upset is on the mind for sure. But we're not worrying about that too much on our end. We just go out and play and respect every opponent each week.
How many guys would you say roughly that were main contributors or played a lot last year that are back for you this year? And I guess my point is that remember what happened in last year's postseason that are using that for this year.
Yeah, we only lost about 4 kids. So everyone who got meaningful minutes last year played. We have a couple guys that are new to our team that have stepped in and filled some really important roles for us. So hopefully the guys that have that experience can help them along the way here as we get into really important football.
You've got everything in front of you. You play your games at home. You keep winning. You're not leaving. How big a deal is that? And what kind of home field advantage have you built up in a short amount of time?
Yeah, our place is special. It's an awesome place to play, and that's because of the people who come and support us. People are rallying around Minot North football right now. Our school is excited. Our community is excited. So to be able to play in front of them the people that you care about and that you love and that are going to support you. It's a special deal for our guys. And I told them, don't take that for granted, because not a lot of teams get to do that in 2 consecutive years.
Well, you and I were talking. I remember your first day of varsity practice. You were showing us the place. I mean, you've been here for every step of this. How much you enjoy like this? We built this from the ground up, and now here we are. We got a real chance to maybe win this thing.
Yeah, when you sit back and think about it, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity that we have. I don't know if I always sit and appreciate it enough,
Yeah.
because I'm worried about the next thing and preparing and doing all that. But yeah, it's a special group of young men that we get to work with first off. But the atmosphere that we get, the stadium that we've been able to build and just be a part of this new process has been a special deal. So yeah, I'm grateful to be in this position.
Tell me about your QB, Bladen Blickery, and what's he bring to the table as a dual threat kind of guy?
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He's our best competitor. Um, we haven't thrown the ball as much as maybe we would maybe have liked to at this point in the season, but he commands our offense really well and gets us in the right things at times. So yeah, he's a key component, and when he's under center, we feel like our offense can click and we got a chance. And when the time comes to be a little bit more diverse, he's the guy that can do it for us.
All right, so it's Grand Forks Red River for round 2. What do you imagine? You think the kitchen sink the Riders are going to bring at you tonight to try and knock you off?
Yeah, we talked about that this week. Come the playoff time, you got your tricks here and there. Special teams is a big part of it. So being ready to handle kicks here and there, and a reverse on a kickoff or little things like that. Yeah, we got to be ready for them to come out and give us their best shot. They have film on us. They know what we're going to do, and they'll try to exploit it. So yeah, they'll be better this time around.
All right, tell me about the level of football in 2A this year. How did it play out to you with Kindred and Central Cass moving up? And I know you didn't see them during the year, but how that elevated the level of play in your mind in 2A?
Yeah, I think it's raised the bar. Those two programs really know how to win football games. When you play teams like that each week, it's a challenge. On our side of things, Devil's Lake coming over to the West, that's a good football team, and their quarterback's maybe the best we've seen in the last 2 years, just with his ability to run and extend plays. So, yeah, the level is higher than I think it was last year. So we're fortunate to be sitting where we're at right now, given the fact that teams have improved as well.
All right, so give me the under-over on how many times you were out and about and people ask you, why are you guys playing 3A? Because I got it out here. I'm curious, you're in it. How often do you get that question?
I don't hear it much. The biggest question is when do you play Minot High? And that's a couple years down the road. But yeah, I haven't heard that as much out here. We're content being where we're at for right now, but eventually we want to move up, obviously, and play the biggest schools in the state. But yeah, people are just excited that we're winning football games.
Look at this bracket. When you look, I know you're only worried about Red River, but you've played a handful of these teams. Describe the teams that are in 2A and that what kind of matchups we could see down the road here.
Yeah, like you said, I don't look ahead very much, but like next week, if we play St. Mary's or Central Cass, we don't know a lot about Central Cass, but we know that they're well coached and they have athletes, some big guys at their tackle position. So
yeah.
Teams are different in terms of their style of play right now than what we're used to. A lot of teams like to throw the ball, where we try to stop the run and we try to run the ball. So when we play a passing team, it challenges our defense a little bit more than what we're maybe used to. But we'll prepare for that when the time comes.
So now for this time of the year, are you looking at the weather app? Are you checking, okay, what do we got? Because knowing full well that could affect how you want to do things.
Yeah, I think you check it frequently. A couple weeks ago, we played Jamestown in a really rainy one, and I made a comment after the game. I said, this benefits us. If we could play every game in the rain, I would take it. And our fans wouldn't like it, and most people wouldn't enjoy it. But in any type of weather, we're suited to play with the style of football that we play. So it's not as big of a deal to us as maybe it is to some other teams.
You look ahead here, there's just how much, and I know you mentioned you're not given a whole lot of time to sit back and enjoy it. For your players, do you get the sense are they doing that, or are they in the day-to-day kind of grind?
I think we take time to enjoy stuff. Like my message tonight, I wrote it last night, is just to be grateful for where we're at. There's some pressure that comes with being in the playoffs and maybe being the 1 seed, but it's a privilege to get to do what we're doing, and we get to play a game that we love. So yeah, we take time to appreciate it for sure, and make sure that kids are enjoying the experience.
All right, I got to ask here, as a proud University of North Dakota alum, how much have you been able to enjoy this season, and then knowing full well what lies ahead potentially next week?
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. I was fortunate to play for Coach Schmidt. a couple years back, and he's just a great person, first off, and what he's doing. There's a lot of excitement around UND football. Big matchup coming up in a week here, and that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, we'll be able to get down to that one. But first things first, we got to beat the Yotes this weekend.
Last thing, you're busy tonight. So who's manning the house for Halloween? You got anything going on tonight, or what's the plan?
Well, no, I'm not married. I don't have any kids, so football is all I care about tonight. I actually made a comment. I'm glad we play on Halloween because I'm not into the trick or treating side of stuff. So we'll go and do the best thing that we can do, and that's play football.
All right, but do you have a go-to candy? Do you have one? If you're in a moment of weakness, I gotta have.
Well, I saw your guys' list earlier.
Yes.
And I'm with you on the Reese's peanut butter cup.
All right.
Yeah.
That's number one. Anything else that you would succumb to, or no? That's it.
If you put a piece of chocolate in front of me, I'm probably going to eat it. So that's the O-line coach in me.
I appreciate that. Thanks so much for doing this, bud. I appreciate the time. Stay dry, hopefully, tonight. Good luck, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks, Dom.
There he goes. Jacob Holmen joining us. Minot North head football coach. The Sentinels will play the Riders tonight. That's in one of the 4 quarterfinals in 2A. You saw the bracket there. We talked about it. Heck, I think I mentioned it in August before the season got going. All roads, in my mind, were pointing to Minot North and Kindred facing each other. Did not play during the regular season. That's a nice deal in North Dakota. That doesn't happen all that often in North Dakota big school football. So if that were to come to pass here 2 weeks' time at the Dome, sign me up for that, because that'd be a pretty fun game to see with two teams that'll be unbeaten at that point. The other games tonight, Devils Lake will host Grand Forks Central. Watford City goes to Kindred. We've got the St. Mary's Central Cass game. That's going to be on WDAY Plus exclusive later tonight. We mentioned Red River taking on Minot North. Highlights and scores, all those games coming up later tonight on First Down Friday, about 10:20 on Channel 6. All right, we're due for our final break. We come back, we'll get you ready. What a great sports weekend on tap. It starts tonight. The Eliminator Challenge restarts with our staff as well, and we'll get a few more candy emails before we send you out the door. Hot Mike will wrap right after this.